A pressed flower bookmark should be just as beautiful as the pages it marks. Smooth, clear, and perfectly placed. But sometimes those delicate petals shift, bubble, or tear before you're even done. But not today. I'm going to show you how to turn pressed flowers into flawless, durable bookmarks that look like little works of art. You'll learn my trick for keeping flowers exactly where you want them, plus how to add a crisp vinyl design for that extra wow factor. I figured out the biggest beginner mistake in making pressed flower bookmarks, and today we're finally going to get it right. Hello, everyone. Jennifer Maker here. It's a beautiful day to rewrite the story on making pressed flower bookmarks. Now, clear laminate can make beautiful one of a kind gifts, but this sticky material can be intimidating. Problems like confusing cut settings and materials slipping around on your cutting mat can turn an exciting project into a frustrating mess. So, I'll share my secrets on getting the flowers to stay put while you're pressing them, plus how to add a crisp vinyl design on top for a beautiful finish that's durable through many reads. First, you'll need a thermal laminating pouch and something to press it with. It's recommended to use a laminating machine, but I'm going to test a household iron and a heat press to see if those work too. Next, you'll need a variety of small pressed flowers. I bought mine pre-pressed, but you can press your own too. To add the optional accent layer to some of the designs, you'll need a piece of adhesive vinyl. I used white Cricut value vinyl, so the details really pop. You'll also need some standard grip transfer tape to apply the vinyl to the bookmark. Finally, I recommend adding a tassel for a finishing touch. I'm using my Cricut Maker to cut everything, but your Maker Series, Explore Series, Venture, Joy, or Joy Extra will work just fine without resizing my files. We'll cut everything on a green standard grip machine mat and use a brayer to smooth things down, plus a weeding tool, scraper, painter's tape, and heat-resistant tape to keep everything in place while you work. And speaking of keeping everything in the right place, I'll show you how to test your vinyl placement with a secret weapon to avoid crooked vinyl. These simple tools and materials will help us turn these pretty pressed flowers into a polished, gift-worthy bookmark you'll be proud to share or keep for yourself. Everything I used is in my blog post at jennifermaker.com/782. You'll also go there to access my free library and download my free designs. Click Get a Password if you need one, or enter the library. Then search for design number 782 and click the download link. Inside, you'll find an SVG folder with files for each of my bookmark designs. There are designs to cut the laminate and vinyl layers, like a cloche, a flacon, which is a fancy name for a perfume bottle, a heart swirl design, a mason jar, and a swirl border design, plus simple circle, rectangular, and rounded designs without an extra vinyl layer. And in the PDF folder, you'll find versions you can print and cut by hand if you don't have a cutting machine. If you're unsure how to upload these files, visit jennifermaker.com/svgs. I'll demonstrate with the mason jar design, but you can use these exact steps for any of the vinyl designs. If you're making one without vinyl, simply skip those parts. Click the arrow to expand the group. The white shape will be cut from lamination pouches, and I'll cut the teal design from white permanent adhesive vinyl. You can resize the bookmark if you want by using the corner handles. Make sure the lock icon is closed to keep the proportions right. Once you're happy, name your project to save it. Then select your machine at the top right, then click Make. On the Prepare screen, choose the correct material size to match your material. On the white mat for the laminate, drag the design away from the edges. This will help with the tape placement in a moment. If you're making more than one bookmark at a time, drag the pieces apart so they have more room to cut. This gives the best results when cutting lamination pouches. Make sure you've got the first mat selected so it loads first on the next screen, then click Continue. On the Make screen, I use the acetate setting with default pressure for my laminate. Both sides of the pouch are the same, so hold it so the fold is at the top, then place it onto the top left of a green standard grip machine mat. Use a clean brayer to adhere it well. One problem crafters have when cutting laminate pouches is slippage. To keep the top layer of the laminate pouch from shifting while cutting, apply a piece of painter's tape along each edge of the laminate pouch, overlapping the laminate about a 1/4 inch. Since we move the design away from the edges of the mat, the tape won't get in the way when we're cutting. If any excess tape extends beyond the edge of the mat, tear it off so it won't interfere with the gray rollers. Check that your fine point blade is clean and in the clamp. Then load your mat into your Cricut so it matches the screen preview, and press the flashing middle button to cut your laminate material. Before unloading the mat, use your weeding tool to gently lift the material to see if the cut went through both layers of laminate. If your laminate isn't cut all the way through both layers, press the middle button to repeat the cut in the same spot. When it's done, unload the mat, then use your weeding tool to gently lift the cut material and remove the bookmark pieces from the mat. If you have any issues with your cuts, check out my Intricate Cuts tutorial at jennifermaker.com/intricate cuts on Cricut. The pieces are cut in pairs, but if they come off the mat separately, keep them clean by sandwiching them with the matte sides inside and the shiny sides outside. If you're cutting vinyl, that mat will be next. For Cricut Value Permanent Adhesive Vinyl, use the Value Vinyl setting. Then choose More Pressure for the cleanest cut. Place your vinyl on the top left portion of the mat. Use your brayer to make sure it's adhered well. Load the mat into your Cricut and press the flashing button to cut. Once the vinyl is cut, press the flashing button to unload the mat. Flip the mat over and peel it away from the vinyl and carrier sheet. Use your weeding tool to lift and remove the excess vinyl around the vinyl design. Next, weed the smaller inner shapes. Gently poke the tool into the vinyl you want to remove and pull it away. If any areas lift, gently pat them back down. Once the bookmark pieces are prepared, open the PDF in the free Adobe Acrobat Reader software. Find the page that has the shape bookmark you want to make. Click File, then Print. In the Print dialog box under Pages to Print, select Current to print only the displayed page. Click Print. Place one of the bookmark layers mat side up over the bookmark shape on the printed PDF page. Arrange dried flowers on top of the bookmark layer on the page, inside the outlines for the vinyl. Leave at least 1/8 inch of space between the flowers and the bookmark's edge, and avoid the tassel hole. For delicate flowers, use tweezers or a weeding tool to nudge them into place. If your flowers won't lay flat or have thick stems, use small scissors to trim the stem close to the bloom. Flatter flowers and stems work best. Thick flowers can cause bubbles in the laminate, while thin ones press beautifully. Once your flowers are in place, grab the other laminate bookmark layer and turn it over so it's shiny side up, matte side down. Align its top edge with the top edge of the layer that's on the page. Keeping the bottom layer lined up with the printed shape can help. The adhesive on the inside should keep the layers from slipping. Carefully lower the rest of the top layer down onto the flowers and bottom layer. If any of the flowers on the first layer shift beyond outlines on the paper, hold the top layer of laminate in place and use your weeding tool to poke between the layers and nudge the flowers back into place. To stop flowers from shifting in the laminator, secure each edge of the bookmark to the paper with heat-resistant tape. With the bookmark facing up, run the page through the laminating machine. Once it's finished laminating, peel the heat-resistant tape off of the bookmark. If your bookmark comes out rippled or curled, you can send it through the lamination machine again or place it under some heavy books to smooth it out. The laminator worked great, but I know what you're thinking. What about an iron or a heat press? I know not everyone has a laminator at home, so let's see if either of these can do the job. First, I prep 2 more bookmarks with flowers just like before. Let's start with the household iron. I set mine to medium heat with no steam. Then I placed a piece of parchment paper on top of the bookmark to protect it. I pressed for about 30 seconds with firm pressure. And the result? Not great. There are air pockets, wrinkles, and the edges didn't bond. It's cloudy and just doesn't have that professional finish we're going for. I even tried again with more time and got the same results. Next, I tried a Cricut Easy Press at 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 149 degrees Celsius for 30 seconds with parchment paper and firm pressure. And while it did better than the iron since the pressure is more even, we still ended up with some haze, bubbles, and parts that didn't seal completely. The verdict? While it's tempting to use what you have on hand, neither of these alternatives give you that crystal clear, polished look that a proper laminator does. If you want the best results for bookmarks that look clean and professional, especially if you're gifting or selling them, I definitely recommend investing in a laminator. They're pretty affordable and totally worth it for lamination projects like this. Now let's add the vinyl. Cut a piece of standard grip transfer tape that is slightly larger than the vinyl decal. Remove the backing from the transfer tape. Hold your transfer tape in the shape of a taco, sticky side down, then put the bottom of the taco onto the middle of the vinyl design. Smooth the transfer tape over the decal from the center outward and burnish it down using the scraper tool. Flip the decal over and burnish it with the scraper tool from the back. Gently peel off the backing from the vinyl, leaving the design on the transfer tape. If any vinyl lifts up from the transfer tape, lay the backing back down and burnish again. This next step uses a slightly different vinyl application method to make alignment easier on the laminated surface. Cut a piece of parchment paper about the same size as your transfer tape. With the transfer tape and decal sticky side up, cover it with parchment paper, leaving the top ½ inch of the transfer tape exposed. Make sure the front of the flowers is facing up, then flip the bookmark so that side is face down. Place the bookmark onto the parchment and transfer tape, aligning it with the vinyl design. Press the top edge of the laminated bookmark onto the exposed area of transfer tape, then remove the parchment paper. Beginning at the top, smooth the bookmark down onto the decal. Flip the bookmark face up and use your scraper tool to gently burnish the decal to the laminate material. Carefully peel away the transfer tape, leaving the vinyl design on the bookmark. Insert the looped end of a tassel through the hole in the bookmark. Insert the tassel end through the looped end and carefully pull it tight to attach it to the bookmark. And there you have it, your beautiful pressed flower bookmark with a crisp vinyl design, ready to slip into your favorite book or gift to someone special. Want to take your pressed flower bookmarks to the next level? In our advanced membership, I'll show you my best tricks for arranging flowers so they look amazing from both sides, and teach you how to apply vinyl decals to the front and back of your bookmark so it looks polished and professional no matter how you flip it. It's the perfect way to create gift-worthy bookmarks you'll be proud to share. I hope this project has inspired you to feel confident cutting clear laminate on your Cricut and adding pretty floral touches without any slipping, tearing, or bubbling. I'd love to see what you make, so please share your finished bookmarks in my Facebook group at jennifermaker.com/cricketcrafters. I'll be there to cheer you on. And if you found this tutorial helpful and you're excited to keep creating, I have something I think you're going to love. It's just for moments like this. It's called the Cricut Coach Playbook, and it's full of quick, easy-to-follow diagrams and step-by-steps that show you exactly what buttons to press and when. I made it because I remember how overwhelming Cricut felt at first, and I wanted to make it easier for others to just enjoy the process. You can print it out, keep it by your machine, and flip to whatever you need whenever you need it. You can get your copy at jennifermaker.com/cricketcoach, and I'll also leave the link for you below. Go take a peek. And if you're ready to take your crafting skills to the next level, be sure to check out my advanced membership, where we dive deeper into Cricut projects, like making double-sided bookmarks that look beautiful from every angle. You can join my advanced program at jennifermaker.com/advance. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.